Hello everyone, my name is Sheila Convento, and my quandary is should I enroll my son in driving school or should I teach him myself? This presentation is coming from an advice from the four source experts that I found. The first one is coming from Dr. Alan F. Williams. He is the author of the article Young Drivers Risk Factors, Successful and Unsuccessful Approaches for Dealing with Them and Agenda for the Future. The title of the publication is Injury Prevention, BMJ Journals. I found this source credible because Dr. A.F. Williams is a social psychologist with a PhD from Harvard University and has conducted numerous research regarding driving safety. Injury Prevention is an international peer-reviewed journal that offers the best science, policy, and public health practice to reduce the burden of injury in all age groups around the world. The factors from this source make me think to enroll my son into driving school. The extra risk that young drivers have for crash involvement, from my eyes, is due to inexperience and characteristic that follows with a young age, and the interaction between these two factors, which is inexperience and young age, create an appetite for excitement, strong emotions, poor judgments, decision making, and peer influences. I know that young beginners that are parent taught are more likely than professional taught to perform risky driving behaviors such as speeding, close following, and smaller gap acceptance. This driving style combines with their inexperience created in lesser abilities to recognize hazards and accidents waiting to happen gives me a reason to enroll my son in a driving school. My second source is from Dr. Daniel R. Mayu and Dr. H. M. Simpson. They are the authors of the article The Safety Value of Safety Education and Training, which the title of the publication is The Injury Prevention. And I found this source credible because Dr. H. M. Simpson is a senior research and policy consultant with the Traffic Injury Research Foundation. And Dr. Daniel R. Mayu has several scientific contributions revolving around driving education and training. The BMJ Journals is one of the world's oldest general medical journals. The papers reflect the journal's international orientation. Its large and distinguished editorial board represents 20 different countries. The information I found in this article countered my thoughts about driving school. Although there is a value of safety into driver education, programs seems to be proven as not effective and evidence that support the safety benefits of drivers' education are lacking. Numerous of their studies show that driving education has failed to suggest any positive effects and pose more of a risk compared to a parent-taught education. Concerns about the education in driving and the risk they pose has led me to the resolution of taking it upon myself as a parent to teach and help secure the safety of my son for driving education. My third source is from Dwayne F. Shell, Ian M. Newman, Anna Lucia Cordova Cazar, and Jill M. Hees. They are the authors of the article Driver Education and Teen Crashes and Traffic Violations in the First 2 Years of Driving in a Graduated License System. The title of the publication is Accident Analysis and Prevention. Why this source is credible? Dwayne Shell and Ian Newman work for the Nebraska Prevention Center in the Department of Educational Psychology. Ana Lucia Cordova Cazar and Jill Hees work for the Survey Research and Methodology Program at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Accident Analysis and Prevention provides wide coverage of the general areas relating to the accidental injury and damage, including the pre-injury and immediate post-injury phases. This source has aided me towards signing my son up for a driver's education because the article shows that data that shows demographic age and how that affects car crashes. The primary research question was whether teens obtaining their driver's education within an enrolled school leads me to more or less accidents and mistakes they make compared to parent-taught drivers. This article is able to show me statistics of car crashes, and it helps prove some of the negatives I have for self-taught lessons. Parent-taught drivers appear to have more difficulties in handling accidents or even getting into accidents more frequently than professional taught drivers. The classroom environment of driver's education may help drivers learn the rules of driving more and easily and more understood. My fourth source is coming from Bruce Simmons Morton. He is the author of the article Parent Involvement in Novice Teen Driving, Rationale, Evidence of Effects and Potential for Enhancing Graduated Driver Licensing Effectiveness. The title of the publication is also Journal of Safety Research. And I found his source credible because Bruce Simmons Morton is a senior investigator who is part of the Prevention Research Branch of the National Institute of Health. He was appointed chief of the branch in 1997. His research interests are early adolescent problem behavior prevention and the prevention of motor vehicle crashes among novice drivers. Journal of Safety Research at Science Direct is Elsevier's main platform of peer-reviewed scholarly literature. Many universities, libraries, and institutions offer Science Direct access to their students, teachers, and researchers. This article has helped me lean towards signing my son up for a driver's education as well. During the first 6 months to a year, high crash rates are common for novice drivers. Experience helps decrease the chances of what some call novice young driver problem, and being professionally trained increases the young driver's competence and knowledge of the rules of the road. Knowing that I can trust a professional to teach my son to be safe and also be a safe driver gives me confidence into enrolling my son into driver's education. Also, exposure is an important factor in this crash risk. The more person drives, the greater the risk of crashing. If my son were to be self-taught, most of our lessons would driving in the car and on public roads. In a professional setting with a professional trainer, they are able to practice driving without the risk of crashing. So what now? When I started researching, my thoughts about my son's education for driving was toward teaching him myself instead of enrolling him into driving school. Through the sources, interviews, writings, I have come up with compelling evidence that supports a theory that it may be safer to enroll him instead of self-teaching. But I will look over the evidence that I have found within my research to find the answers to my question of whether or not should I enroll my son into driving school.